वेलकम बैक गाइस। सो फाइनली 1.5 आ चुका है एंड इसी के साथ एक नई क्विस्ट आई है जो कि ये है अ टीपॉट टू कॉल होम एंड शायद इसको अनलॉक करने के बाद हमें हमारी हाउसिंग सिस्टम मिलेगी, यही से लग रहा है कुछ शायद। सो हम इसी क्विस्ट को प्ले करेंगे एंड देखेंगे इस क्विस्ट के बाद हमें हमारा हाउस मिलता है या नहीं। सो इस वीडियो को शुरू करते, लेट्स मूव ऑन। मैडम पिंक से बात करनी है हमें। पिंक आई मीन नॉट पिंक। चलो देखते क्या होता है। वैसे इस अपडेट में आर्कन क्विस्ट भी आने वाली थी ना, वो कब आएगी पता नहीं। यहाँ पे तो कुछ दिख नहीं रहा आर्कन क्विस्ट में, ये देखो बस ये स्टोरी क्विस्ट है। चलो पहले मैडम पिंक से मिलते हैं। अरे यहाँ पे खड़ी है मैडम पिंक। हेलो मैडम पिंक।
Children, come, come. You've arrived at just the right moment. I've been looking for you.
क्यों मैडम पिंक, हमारी क्यों?
What is it, Granny? Need any help?
हाँ ग्रैनी, एनी हेल्प?
Oh, no, no. You've done so much for Lea Harbor already. I could hardly ask for more.
कोई नहीं, हम हेल्प करते रहते और पूछ सकते।
In fact, my old friends and I have been putting our heads together to think of what sort of gift we might give you in return.
ओ गिफ्ट मिलेगा। लेकिन इसकी कोई जरूरत नहीं है।
A gift? For Paimon?
I only did as I should. You are too kind. Yes, Paimon.
Oh, child, you are so very modest. Uncommonly so, even. But you mustn't decline this gift. I simply won't allow it.
ओ मीन्स लेना ही पड़ेगा। सही है।
When you traversed my old teapot in
अरे
search of
हाँ,
the cleansing
गए थे
well,
हम इसके में।
I heard your little friend mention that you often camp out in the wilds.
वो ये ग्रैनी का टीपॉट तो नहीं मिलेगा हमें?
That simply won't do. Especially since I imagine you still have a very long journey
Yes.
ahead of you.
ये तो सही है, बहुत बड़ी जर्नी है हमारे पे।
Fortunately, I have not yet grown so old as to see my subspace creation abilities atrophy.
What? सब स्पेस क्रिएशन। बहुत साइंटिफिक लग रहा है सुनने में।
Oh, did my friends never mention that to you?
No.
Well then, it is a blessing we old folks once received from Rex Lapis.
अच्छा।
Part of our illumination, if you will.
रेक्स लैपिस ने दिया है, सही है फिर।
I will not go into too much detail, but subspace creation is the ability to create a small, autonomous
पॉकेट
pocket
वर्ड,
world.
अरे ये तो सही है। शायद यही मिलेगा हमें।
The teapot that you entered previously was a little trinket created using that ability.
अच्छा, वो बस बनाया हुआ था, ये तो सही है फिर। ट्रिंकल यूज से कितना बड़ा था वो।
So, in the eyes of an adeptus, creating a magic teapot world is
Yes,
just child's play, huh?
हाँ।
Oh, indeed, the teapot is nothing to boast of. One such as myself must depart from this realm to create a world of one's own. Rex Lapis, on the other hand, moved mountains and seas. That is what one might call an exercise of true power.
अरे लगता है बहुत कुछ करेंगे हम उसमें। देखते हैं, चलो।
But that's enough nostalgia for now. The gift that I have prepared for you just requires a few final materials to add the finishing touch.
मटेरियल, ओह व्हाट आर द मिसिंग मटेरियल? हाँ क्या है वो?
That's right! Finding stuff's what we're good at after all.
यस, ये तो हम करते रहते।
Oh, settle down now, children. There's no need for you to go running hither and thither.
क्यों? फिर कौन लाएगा?
I've already found a fleet-footed youngster to prepare what I need.
ओह कौन है वो?
What's more, I doubt that you would know how to find the materials I am searching for. Some of them are very rare indeed these days.
मैडम पिंग रेयर है तो क्या हुआ, हमें मिल जाते हैं। एंड व्हाट आर दोज इफ आई माइट आस्क?
Well, for starters, I require some shimmer soil from the banks of Dihua Marsh.
शिमर सॉइल।
Back in the day, it could only be found where the glazed lilies thrived most profusely.
अरे ये तो बहुत रेयर लग रहा है। शिमर सॉइल।
You would have to dig downward, following the roots of the glazed lilies. And if you were lucky enough, you just might find a small patch of shimmer soil there.
इतना करने के बाद स्मॉल पैच ये तो सही है.
But almost no one has been able
बहुत
to
rare
find
means.
shimmer soil in this manner since Dihua Marsh came to be the way it is today.
हैं? किसी को नहीं मिला. फिर कौन लेके आ रहा है मैडम पिंक के लिए?
Even more difficult to find is Smaragdus jadeite, which must be chiseled from the rock of the chasm. Or so it used to be. Ever since the Blackcliff Forge opened for business, they've slowly but surely stripped the mines all but completely bare of it.
Okay.
In any case, Smaragdus jadeite is an adepti treasure, and the adeptal power within is not something that most humans can withstand. Extended contact with it is in fact
Harmful to
harmful
humans.
to humans.
Humans I mean. अरे ये तो डेंजरस है फिर.
Goodness knows if that child will succeed in finding these items.
Child? Child कौन? अरे डायना तो नहीं.
Since you're an Adeptus, Granny, the person you asked for help, they
They must be
an
adapters
Adeptus
too.
too,
Right. Yes.
Yes, I suppose she does count as an adeptus.
Does count. अच्छा.
She
count
counts?
हाँ क्यों?
How come there are so many Adepti in Liyue Harbor? We seem to bump into them all the time.
हाँ ये भी सही है.
It feels like even when you go out to eat, you could be sitting next to an Adeptus and never even know it.
हाँ इतने सारे अडोप्टर्स भरे पड़े हैं ना लियो में. अब क्या बोले?
Oh, maybe so. Who can say? A fair few of my old friends are rather fond of mundane mortal life after all.
कब आएगा वो चाइल्ड?
I'm back, Granny.
हाँ आ गई? नहीं डायना तो नहीं है. ये बड़ी लंबी है.
I don't believe we've met.
हाँ ये हमें जानती है. कैसे?
Ah, allow me to do the honors. This child here is Yen Fei.
यन फे.
She's
अच्छा
the one
ये है
helping
वो.
run some errands for me.
यही कैरेक्टर आने वाला था शायद ना.
Yen Fei, I believe you already heard of the traveler and his traveling companion.
Of course, who hasn't? Much has been written about you in the Millilith's records.
यप यही है वो यन फे.
You became one of Liyue's most wanted after the Millilith marked you as a suspect following the incident at the Rite of Dissension. After which, you fought off the Millilith at Julian Karst and made contact with the Fatui.
अरे इसको तो पूरा चिट्टा कच्चा पता है हमारा. कैसे लेकिन?
Before finally defeating an ancient god together with Granny and her associates, and subsequently being cleared of any and all suspicion by the Chiseng.
What a shame. क्यों?
What a shame.
क्यों shame?
A shame that we didn't meet sooner.
अच्छा ये अरे कोई नहीं अब मिल गए ना ये सही है.
If we had, well, I can't say that I would have been able to clear you of suspicion immediately, but it certainly would have been less, embarrassing for you.
नहीं 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 नहीं. It's okay.
Allow me to introduce myself
हाँ
once more.
इसकी
I'm
पैकेट.
Yanfei, a legal advisor. Got a legal problem? You can come right to me.
ओह वैसे हमें कोई लीगल प्रॉब्लम होती तो नहीं है.
Oh, yes. Here's my business card.
Huh?
You'll find it has my contact details and office address. Keep it handy.
अरे इसने तो बिजनेस चालू कर दिया अपना.
If you have an urgent issue, just leave me a note at this address. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, I offer a very generous discount for first-time customers.
ये देखो इसे कहते हैं बिजनेसमैन.
All right, Yen Fei, all right. Let's get to the business at hand. I do not think these two are in any dire need of legal assistance at the moment.
वही ना देखो ना समझाओ इसे जरा. अपना
You'll have
अपना
to
बिजनेस बाजू में
excuse
रखे थोड़ा.
Yan Fei. She's always been like this, ever the talkative one when it comes to her own affairs.
आर यू रियली अडोप्टर्स? हाँ लगता तो नहीं. ऐसी थोड़ी ना होते अडोप्टर्स.
I was gonna ask the same question. You seem really different from the ones we've met before.
Yes, very different.
An Adeptus? I guess. Kinda. My old man said he was one anyway.
हाँ क्या?
He mentioned that he once campaigned with Rex Lapis for a long old time. And then after that was all over, he went back and married my mom.
लोल.
They had me, and once I was all grown up, the two of them upped and left on a journey, leaving me with Granny here.
अरे इसको छोड़ दिया ग्रैनी के पास. ये तो सही नहीं हुआ.
Well, that's a bit casual for an Adeptus. Aren't you guys supposed to sign solemn contracts to protect Liyue Harbor and all that stuff? What do you mean he just whipped back
हाँ वही ना, बस ऐसे आ गया। हाँ तलब ही ऐसी थी शायद।
Well, my dad did say that he'd talked it through with Rex Lapis and that he was fine with it. Even contributed towards the wedding gift, apparently.
ओह ठीक है ठीक है।
Anyway, let's not dwell on that too much. So, Granny, I've gotten a hold of most of the stuff you asked for, except for Smaragdus Jadeite. I couldn't find any at all.
अच्छा तो ये ढूंढेंगे अब हम
The
शायद।
chasm's been sealed off, and there's just no way in. Couldn't secure any documentation either. Looks like the Ministry of Civil Affairs is serious about keeping it strictly locked down.
यस वो बहुत सीरियस होते हैं।
Is that so? But Smaragdus Jadeite is really rather essential.
अरे इसेंशियल है, तब तो लाना ही पड़ेगा हमें। हम सब मिल के जाए क्या, फिर हो जाएगा शायद। ये अकेले गई थी ना, इसलिए नहीं हुआ इसी के साथ।
Yenfei, are you sure you can't find some other way? They have helped Liua greatly after all. It is only right that they are duly rewarded.
अरे हम भी जाते हैं ना ढूंढने के लिए।
I know, Granny, you've told me 1,000 times already. Well, the chasm's definitely a no-go, but there's still a chance we can figure out some alternative means of procurement.
वो क्या है, और कौन से वेज है?
Hold on a moment. Let me have a look.
अरे बुक है ये, मुझे लगा इसका पट्टू है। अब पायमन ऐसी क्यों देख रही है?
Whoa, that's a really
Thick
thick
book.
book. What kind of things do you write in there?
हाँ इतना सारा क्या लिख लिया इसने, मुझे भी वो सूटकेस लगी, पता है क्या? I mean बॉक्स जैसा कुछ।
Commercial consultancy. Or...
शेजनाया।
Snezhnaya. Ah, found him.
कहाँ पे? शेजनाया।
Crossel.
अच्छा क्रॉसल।
A Snezhnayan merchant who once came to me with some legal queries on certain articles in the legal codices. If my memory serves, all of them had to do with rare ores.
ओह कहाँ पे मिलेगा एक?
He mentioned that he was considering acquiring some Smaragdus Jadeite to make hairpins and wanted to know if there were any legal ramifications that he should be aware of. Said he was planning to sell them in Snezhnaya.
अरे स्नेजनाया जाना पड़ेगा फिर।
So, I guess I'll go look for him. With any luck, he'll have gotten his hands on some Smaragdus Jadeite, or might have an idea of where we can find some.
ओह सही है फिर, we'll come with you। हाँ हम भी आएंगे सब।
Oh, you want to join me?
Yes।
I suppose that's no problem.
चलो
But it's
फिर।
best if you just stand by and watch. If you try to get involved, you'll only risk placing yourself in legal jeopardy.
अरे कोई नहीं, हम आना चाहेंगे।
Wow, an Adeptus imploring us to avoid incurring legal liability.
That is first
That's
time
a
for
first for
sure. Yes।
Best we be a little more careful than usual while we're with her.
ठीक है समझ गए पायमन। सो कहाँ पे जाना है? टॉक टू क्रूसल। अरे ये तो यहीं पे है, लोल। ये तो बोली शेजनाया, ये तो बोल रही थी कि शेजनाया में है। ओए हेलो क्रूसल।
Hello, Mr. Crossel. How's business been?
नहीं चल रहा होगा बिजनेस।
Oh, good.
Good.
Very good.
अरे वाह।
All thanks to your advice, Miss Yanfei. What brings you here today?
हमें चाहिए कुछ इसेंशियल।
You're too kind. I was simply doing my job. Now, I believe that the last time we met, you mentioned that you were looking to source some Smaragdus Jadeite to make hairpins. Have there been any further developments on this front?
हाँ क्रूसल है क्या कुछ?
Well,
Yes, अरे वाह,
as a matter of
सही है।
fact, in the end, I did acquire a small piece of Smaragdus Jadeite and had it fashioned into a pair of hairpins.
सो दे दे हमें फिर।
Miss Yanfei, might I presume that you have an interest in the hairpins? I must apologize. I have already rented them out to a lady named Jiao.
अरे
If you'd like to inspect them, you may have to wait quite some time.
नो हमें चाहिए था ना।
Wait, isn't Smaragdus Jadeite really rare?
यस।
Aren't you worried about the hairpins getting damaged or lost while they're being rented out?
शायद नहीं होगा
No,
इसको।
I'm not worried in the slightest because I signed a contract with Miss Jiao before renting them to her.
यस यहाँ पे कोई कॉन्ट्रैक्ट नहीं तोड़ता लिव में।
The contract makes it quite clear that if she loses or damages the item in question, she must compensate me for its full original value.
यस 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 झोंगली की जगह है ये।
In return, I included a clause that guarantees the Smaragdus Jadeite is genuine, with a penalty of 10 times the item's value payable by me to Miss Jiao in the event that it is shown to be a fake.
नो ambiguities here। यस
Guaranteed genuine? with 10 times the value payable if this claim is shown to be false. Yes, these terms are very clear indeed.
तो अब हम क्या करें?
Of course. This way, both the client and I have the assurance we need. To ensure fairness, each of us has retained an original copy of the contract.
अरे फिर हम क्या करें?
In that case, might you know where Miss Chow lives? We'd like to pay her a visit
अच्छा।
and have a look at the hairpins.
उसके पास जाना है, चलो फिर।
Oh, of course. She wrote her address down when we signed our contract. Here, I'll mark it on your map for you.
दे 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 दे।
Thanks a lot, Mr. Crossell. We'll be off now.
नहीं, इसके पास नहीं आएंगे। वही इतना रेयर आइटम कोई हेयर पिन पे कैसे लगा सकता है? कहाँ पे रहती है ये? अरे ये तो यहीं पे रहती है लोल। अरे इसके घर में जाने के लिए रास्ता भी नहीं है। अब मुझे दीवारों से चढ़ के जाना पड़ेगा शायद। नहीं, रास्ता तो है, मुझे दिखा नहीं। अरे वाह, चेस्ट है। हिडन चेस्ट मिल गई मुझे। अरे कहाँ, रास्ता ही नहीं जाने के लिए। फिर भी वी कांट गिव अप इजीली।
Speed of light.
ये देखो हमारी पावर। ओए मैडम, हेयर पिन चाहिए हमें।
Oh, whatever shall I do?
लोल, इसने घुमा दिया, 100% घुमा दिया, क्योंकि टेंशन में ही दिख रही है। हेलो, एक्सक्यूज मी।
Yes, that's me. Is there something I can help you with?
हमें हेयर पिन में से वो चाहिए।
How do you do, Mr. Chow? We understand from Mr. Crossell that you recently rented a pair of hairpins from him.
यस।
My associates and I are very interested in them. Would you mind letting us take a look at them?
The hairpins.
देखो
I can't lend them to you
कहा
right
था
now.
ना, इसने घुमा
I-
दिया, कहा था मैंने।
I've lost them.
अरे ये पिटेगी अब।
I don't know how it could have happened. I always kept them right by my side, and I hadn't even worn them yet.
अरे अब क्या करें हम?
I spent so much money on them. If I have to pay their original value, there's no way I could come up with that amount of money on such short notice.
Why did you need them in the first place? हाँ, क्यों? कहाँ पे?
My family is in the ore business too, but business has been suffering ever since the chasm was sealed off. We now have a backlog of paid up orders just sitting around, so we've been having to purchase some stock from other ore merchants to complete them.
कहाँ पे घुमाया ये तो बता।
A big banquet is coming up in a few days, and several ore merchants I know of will be there. I need this opportunity to mingle and discuss prices. That's what the hairpins were for, to keep up appearances. I can't have them looking down on me.
नो, अब क्या करें हम?
But now that I've lost the hairpins, what will I do?
अरे तू क्या, हम भी टेंशन में है, हम क्या करें?
Why does Paimon have a sudden strong sense of deja vu?
डेजा वू? ये क्या है? Maybe because this is a part of here we say we can help. Yes, यही पार्ट है, हम हेल्प करते रहते हैं सबकी।
Would you really? I sent a commission to the Adventurers Guild, but I haven't heard anything back from them yet.
कमीशन दिया है क्या? फिर तो करना ही पड़ेगा।
Hold on. Don't run off looking for the hairpins just yet.
क्यों?
Mr. Chow, would you let me have a look at the rental contract you signed?
अरे ये क्यों?
Huh? Well, I mean, sure, I have it right here. Here you are.
दे दे।
Let me see.
हाँ बोल।
That's right! Yanfei said she's a legal advisor, didn't she?
यस, कहा था उसने।
Maybe she can help Jichao somehow.
That would be a little unfair to Crucial. Yes.
True. Though surely there must be a win-win solution.
ये तो सही है फिर।
Right. I finished reading the contract. The terms are very clear, and they do indeed stipulate that you must pay Mr. Crossell the original value of the hairpins as compensation for the loss.
ओह, मीन्स इसको पैसा ही देना पड़ेगा, नहीं तो हमें ढूंढ के लाना पड़ेगा।
Furthermore, the contract also expressly states that the amount of compensation must take current market prices into account.
ओह, ये तो बहुत दिक्कत की बात है फिर।
And given the rarity of Smaragdus jadeite, I fear that the final amount of compensation may end up being significantly higher as a result.
अरे ये तो गरीब लग रही है।
Even higher.
ये देखो।
Oh no.
ये डर गई अभी से।
Uh-oh. Jichao looks like she's about to faint.
However, all of this is assuming that it is indeed genuine Smaragdus jadeite that was inlaid into the hairpins.
हाँ क्या?
Did you really have to pause before saying that part? Anyway, the hairpins are lost.
Yes.
So how exactly we'd be able to find out if the jadeite is genuine or not.
हाँ ये भी
Whichever way you look at it, we've got to start by finding those hairpins.
हाँ चलो.
Except that if we found the hairpins, there'd no longer be any need to check whether the jadeite is genuine, would there?
क्या बोल क्या रही है अनफे?
Seems
Seems right.
Please. Please, Don't trouble yourselves over this. The fact is, I lost the item and I should pay compensation per the contract.
It's such a huge sum of money though. Yes.
However much it is, I will have to pay it. My family are merchants after all. It's vital that we keep our word and respect our contracts.
अरे लेकिन हम ट्राई तो करते.
Now that it's come to this, I really shouldn't keep Crossel in the dark any longer. I'll go and inform him of the issue and then negotiate the amount of compensation.
अरे देखते क्या होता है.
Yes, legally speaking, it seems this is the most sensible course of action. But before that, I have some questions about the hairpins.
हाँ हाँ बोल. ये
So
क्या
hold on
पूछेगी
a
अब?
moment, Mr. Chow. When you first touched the hairpins, what did you feel?
हाँ फील भी होता है इसमें.
What did I feel? Well, I remember that the gemstones set into the pins were perfectly smooth to the touch, like the finest quality jade.
ओह सही है फिर.
My family has seen much jade pass through its hands in the past, so I am quite certain of my judgment in this matter.
क्या?
Smooth to the touch.
Finest quality
jade.
Is something the matter अनफे है?
No, it's nothing. I just need to re-examine a few things. Let's head over to Mr. Crossel's.
अच्छा चलो. ये क्या क्रॉस वेरीफाई कर रही है? यहाँ पे सब कुछ खो रखा है एंड ये अपना ही दिमाग दौड़ा रही है. यान पे ओए क्रॉशियल. हमें कुछ लीगल इंक्वायरी करनी है. क्रॉशियल बोल रहा होगा मुझे बख्श दो.
Ah, Miss Yanfei, you've returned.
Yes.
With Miss Jiqiao in tow, too, I see. How are the hairpins? I trust you're quite satisfied with them?
अरे नहीं इसने घुमा दी वो.
About that.
अरे हाँ बता दिया सब कुछ.
You
Lost?
lost them? Are you serious? Do you have any idea how expensive they were?
अरे अब तो गई है काम से.
I'm sorry. Truly I am. I'll pay the compensation as per our contract.
Every last mora. Yes.
Mora? Do you have any idea what I had to go through to get my hands on that smaragdus jadeite?
क्या? ऐसा क्या दिया
I
इसने?
just don't... Forget it. Talking won't bring them back. Since Miss Yanfei is here, I suppose we can just have her estimate the amount that needs to be paid.
क्या कितना अमाउंट?
No problem. But before I can give an official estimate, I'll need to do a little market research. Ah, yes. And if I may just confirm again,
Yes.
it was in fact genuine smaragdus jadeite inlaid into the hairpins, correct?
Of course! Genuine article guaranteed, or I pay back 10 times the value.
Oh.
All right, understood. I'll conduct some market research, and once I'm back, I'll provide an official assessment of the sum owed by Mr. Chow in compensation. Please wait here, Mr. Crossel.
Thank you very much. How could she lose my hairpins? She'd better pay every last mora that they're worth.
ये इसको गुस्सा आ गया बहुत.
Looks like I'll have to find some way to raise that money.
Please wait, Mr. Chow. I have something to discuss with you.
अच्छा चलो ये कुछ ना
It's
कुछ
not
रास्ता
convenient
निकाल
to
लेगी.
speak here, so let's find somewhere that we can sit and talk in more detail.
हाँ हाँ चलो. मैं भी आ सकता हूँ ना? यस मैं भी आ सकता हूँ. सो हमें बातचीत के लिए प्लेस सर्च करना है. अरे ये तो यहाँ पे है. लोल. यहाँ पे तो टेबल लगे हैं. अरे ये तो वही होटल है ना झोंगली से हमें ट्रीट मिली थी. देखो यहाँ पे.
Miss Yanfei, what is this about? Are you here to tell me how much I owe?
नहीं.
No. What I wanted to talk about is, there is a chance that the ore inlaid on those hairpins may not be smaragdus jadeite after all.
Oh really? कैसे? I mean explain.
What do you mean? Are you implying that you already sneaked off and found them?
हाँ बोल.
Obviously not. I'm no adventurer, let alone a member of the guild. I don't run thankless, time-consuming errands for a living. Let's just say I made some deductions.
क्या वो क्या?
I don't know if Granny told you this, but Smaragdus jadeite is found deep underground and contains very concentrated elemental energy.
हाँ हाँ कहा था.
If mere mortals come into contact with it, well, they'll be sick in the best case. And in the worst case, they could even experience a dramatic change of personality. It most certainly would not be smooth to the touch.
ओह सही है फिर. इसका ध्यान कहाँ कहाँ जाता है?
Mr. Chow, did you at any time feel unwell while the hairpins were in your possession?
हाँ?
No, not at all. I felt perfectly fine the whole time. Not even the slightest bit unwell. I didn't feel anything special at all, in fact.
So फिर कैसे क्या स्पेशल होगा वो?
Now that is strange. I noticed earlier that there were elemental traces in Mr. Crossel's vicinity.
कैसे ट्रेसेस?
If I've deduced correctly, he may still have the Smaragdus jadeite in his possession.
So I mean इसको नहीं दिया क्या उसने?
That's the case. We should go confront him right now and
Yes.
expose his dirty scam right to his face.
यप. हाँ स्कैम करता है लोगों के
Absolutely
साथ.
not. If we were to confront him now, there's no way he would admit to it. Eventually, he would find some argument to compel us to leave.
अच्छा ये लीगली करेगी कुछ ना कुछ.
And
देख लेना.
then he'd throw the Smaragdus jadeite into the sea the moment we were gone.
हाँ क्यों?
After that, he would simply insist that Mr. Chow pay up per the contract. He would lose nothing.
ओह
Meanwhile, we would have to look under every stone in Liyue, hoping and praying that the hairpins do actually still exist somewhere in this world.
a very wide description. Yes.
So vivid that Paimon thinks it might be experience talking.
Oh, it certainly is. I've seen my fair share of situations like this, and brute force methods are certainly one way of resolving them. Fortunately, I have far more elegant solutions at my disposal. I'll share them with you in due course.
Yeah, sure, क्यों नहीं?
Well then, since you're so experienced in dealing with problems like this, perhaps you could help me, Miss Yunfei.
हाँ यनफे कर
Oh,
help.
that won't be a problem. But first, Mr. Chow, could I ask you to please sign this contract?
अरे ये देखो लीगल लोग ऐसे ही होते.
Huh? Does there have to be a contract for everything? Paimon can't even keep track.
हाँ वही ना. यहाँ पे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ही कॉन्ट्रैक्ट चलते रहता है. If I had one mora for every time I hear the word contract, yes.
It feels like Yanfei is even more concerned with them than a certain someone else we know.
हाँ हाँ झोंगली.
These are my formal terms of engagement. Everything prior to now has just been pro bono advice. But for me to investigate any further, I require a written contract.
अरे दे दे अब क्या ही कर सकते हैं हम.
Any work commissioned but not bound by a contract cannot be relied upon.
I understand. Then I will be glad to place this matter into your capable hands if you will take it, Miss Yunfei.
यनफे.
No problem. Just sign here, and I'll sign too. Okay. Now write your address here, and then sign on this page as well.
पायमन का चेहरा देखो कैसी देख रही है.
And I'll also need your signatures on pages 5, 7, and on the very last page. Finally, if you could just use this ink pad to make a handprint over here.
अरे बस हो गया अब.
This contract has so many pages. Paimon's all out of brain juice again.
Such a ordeal, yes.
Alright, that should do it. My fees are the same as always, and they're written in the contract. Have a look through and let me know if you have any questions.
नहीं इसको क्या होगा. ये बोल रहे होगी बड़ा देने से छोटा अच्छा है.
I've had a read through. Everything checks out.
Well then, here's your copy of the contract. I will retain the other copy.
Yes. Need me to do anything, है?
Not for now, no. Despite how intractable this problem might sound, it will actually be quite straightforward to resolve, once we've got some things squared away.
So अब क्या करें हम?
I don't believe you have been part of an investigation like this before, in which case, hopefully this should be quite the experience.
Yes, sure, क्यों नहीं.
Miss
हमें
Yunfei,
नए नए एक्सपीरियंस आते
I have
रहते.
to ask, why are you helping me?
क्योंकि इसका काम ही है ना.
Because, as it happens, I'm currently trying to acquire some Smaragdus jadeite myself.
Yes, yes.
I noticed strong traces of geoenergy around Mr. Crossell, so perhaps he has, in fact, secured some.
ओह है इसके पास में ये तो सही है.
Whether he actually made it into an item of jewelry or not is a separate matter, but either way, it's a lead. As long as we follow it, who knows? We might just be able to get our hands on some Smaragdus jadeite.
अरे ये तो सही है यानफे होशियार है फिर बहुत.
Also, the idea of someone abusing the law to their advantage, I won't stand for it.
Okay.
But again, let's not dwell on this. Let's go to... Where can we find someone who processes ore?
कहाँ पे?
Ha! I've got it! Let's pay a visit to Chateau, the boss of the Jade Mystery. He's a professional when it comes to working with stone and ore.
शिटो ये कौन? अरे वो
If
क्या?
Mr. Crossell had his ore worked on at all, Chateau would undoubtedly have been his first choice.
अरे हाँ वही पीछे वाला शिटो वही बोल रहा हूँ ना मैं. टॉक टू शिटो. अरे इससे बहुत बार मिलते रहते हैं हम. वैसे इससे क्या पूछना है हमें? रियल क्या है ये पूछना है क्या? हेलो.
Why, hello there, honored customers. Welcome to... Oh, it's you.
अरे ये जानता है.
Is something the matter?
ये देखो ये पहले ही पहचान गया इसको.
Surely not more spurious claims that my jade betting is rigged and no one can ever win? Oh, I swear on all that is sacred.
अरे तेरी कोई दिक्कत नहीं हमें. Don't worry.
No, nothing of the sort.
हाँ.
Has a Snezhnine merchant named Crossell enlisted your ore processing services recently by any chance?
हाँ?
A Snezhnayan merchant named Crossell, you say?
याद कर.
I do remember that. He brought me a piece of ore, claiming that it was Smaragdus jadeite.
अच्छा इसके पास से लिया क्या उसने?
That was the first time I'd ever encountered it, so I had no way of telling if it was really Smaragdus jadeite or not. But if a customer insists, far be it from me to contradict them. He was quite generous with his money too, so I didn't give it too much thought. I processed the ore as per his request.
अच्छा.
Do you have any leftover debris from your work on it?
Why, yes. It was my first time encountering this ore, after all, so I kept a few loose shavings to study myself later. They're right over there, in fact.
अरे इसके पास तो बहुत सारे हैं.
Thank you, sir. We'll take a look at them.
Yes. Take a look at them. क्या है ये?
If my eyes don't deceive me, the cross sections and patterning suggest that these are Smaragdus nephrite shavings.
ये क्या है अब?
Yes, it's not particularly rare, nor is it especially valuable. It's used to make jewelry all the time.
Means उसने फंसाया सबको.
I've heard it said that Smaragdus nephrite is in fact the outer layer of Smaragdus jadeite, though no one's ever proven it.
A thin layer of separation, huh?
हाँ पायमन.
If you must see for yourself, try examining these shavings for traces of elemental energy. Smaragdus nephrite is an entirely ordinary ore, containing no elemental energy whatsoever.
तो चलो उसको पकड़ते हैं ना फिर.
Is that so? Well, we might as well give elemental sight a shot.
Yes.
So, did you find anything?
Not a trace of elemental energy. Yes, कुछ नहीं मिला.
So they really are different. But wait, how come Jichao was able to tell what it was just by looking at the shards? That's pretty
Awesome. Yes.
There's nothing special to it. It just so happens that I've come across a great many of these in my time.
Why couldn't Shitao tell of them apart? क्यों?
These two stones actually look very similar. Someone without a deep understanding of them would find it very difficult to tell them apart.
अच्छा तो ये भी नहीं पहचान पाया शिटो.
There may be only a subtle difference for the casual viewer, but that translates to an astronomical difference in terms of the market price.
तो
And, I'm sure, a significant difference in the cost of having them carved into shape.
अच्छा छोटा सा डिफरेंस है बस.
All right, let's focus up. We're going off on a tangent.
चलो अब उससे मिलते हैं.
Never mind, Shirto. Why would Mr. Crossell...
देखते हैं वही बताएगा इसके आंसर.
Unusual actions have unusual reasons behind them. Let's take some of these shavings back to Chateau.
अच्छा चलो उसको सरप्राइज करते. रिपोर्ट बैक टू शट्टाओ. ओए हेलो हमने कुछ ले लिया.
Miss Yenfei? Might I be so bold as to inquire?
ये टेंशन में रहता है क्या हमेशा?
If you could just confirm for me once more, sir. Mr. Crossell did indeed claim that the ore he brought to your store was in fact Smaragdus jadeite, did he not?
Yes, that's right. I still have a record of the job with me, in fact. Here. It says quite clearly, 1 chunk Smaragdus jadeite, uncut.
अनकट.
Then I have no further questions. But could I borrow the processing record and these stone shavings?
हाँ, थोड़ी देर के लिए बस.
Of course. But might I ask why you need them?
Oh, I have my reasons. Yes. Please sign here on this affidavit.
ओह, ये तो एफिडेविट बना के लेके आ गई.
This document shall serve as signed proof that these stone shavings originated from the, ore that Mr. Crossell brought to your store. Please read it carefully.
ये सबको कॉन्ट्रैक्ट देती रहती है क्या?
Yes, I see. Forgive me for asking again, Miss Yanfei. But might I know the nature of the incident on this occasion?
I wouldn't say there's been an incident, just a minor issue. Thank you, sir. I'll take these with me.
यस यस, चलो.
With this hard evidence to back us up, Crossell won't dare try to deny what he did.
यस.
On the contrary, this is far from sufficient to build a case. We need to find something a little more compelling.
अब क्या रह गया?
If you want to make jewelry, you need a professional jewelsmith. Let me think.
अरे ये बार बार अपना बुक निकालती है और उसमें मुंह घुसा देती है, देखो.
Jewelry.
Nope.
Nope. Aha! Got it. Singsi. She often helps people to find a jewelsmith. Let's go pay her a visit.
चिंगसी. ओके.
Well, that was quick. How come you know so many people?
उसके बुक में लिखा ही लगता है सब कुछ.
Because lots of people come to me for legal advice every day.
अच्छा, इसकी वजह से. अरे हम इतने दिनों से ल्यू में थे, ये तो कभी दिखे नहीं हमें.
As you know, Liyue Harbor is the city of contracts. And contracts, well, I should say
Laws.
are very important to us.
यस यस, ये तो पता है.
But the amendments made by the Tianquan to our laws are unnecessarily complicated. How can I put this? It just seems like they're hard to understand and impossible to finish.
ओके.
As such, legal advisors like myself provide quite the popular service indeed.
समझ गए बस अब, चलो.
So you help them make sense of the law. But didn't you say that it's hard to understand and impossible to finish?
अरे हाँ, ये क्यों कहा?
Yes, well, that's no obstacle because I've memorized all the legal codices.
इसके बुक में है सब कुछ.
You memorized them?
नहीं, लिखा है उसने.
You sound surprised. Knowing the law inside out is a legal advisor's bread and butter, you know?
अरे सचमुच इसने मेमोराइज कर लिया क्या? Is this how adapter become so adept at everything?
Oh, this has nothing to do with being an adeptus. I just like reading things.
अच्छा ठीक है, चलो अब तो
Again
चलो.
with that casual tone.
Well, that's that then.
Let's go.
Let's go look for Sing
हाँ
Sing.
हाँ चलो. चिंग सिंग कहाँ मिलेगी हमें? टॉक टू चिंग सिंग.